Hi there, Sarah Beth here from Sarah Beth Yoga, and this is SBY Spotlight, where I shine the light on some of my favorite guests and topics that I think you'll really enjoy. Today, we're talking about online yoga teacher training, specifically with Happy Jack Yoga. So if you don't know me, I'm Sarah Beth. I run Sarah Beth Yoga, an online YouTube yoga channel with over 1 million subscribers, and I reach an audience worldwide. I am so fortunate to have this platform to be able to talk about all of these things that I think can really help you get fit, healthy, and happy on and off your yoga mat. And here I have my friend Jack with me from Happy Jack Yoga. He is the founder and CEO of Happy Jack Yoga University with over 4,000 hours of continuing yoga education, including a year of studying yoga in India. He's also Tony Robbins' yoga teacher, has certified over 600 yoga teachers through his Happy Jack Yoga University, and teaches retreats worldwide. So I'm thrilled to bring him here today and introduce him to you. So the first question I have for you today, and I think it's the biggest question, is what is yoga teacher training?
Namaste, Sarah Beth. Thank you so much for having me here. What is yoga teacher training? It is a life-changing experience. And I know that that's a bold statement to make, but you've felt it, Sarah. I've felt it. What is it at its simplest? Yeah, you become a certified yoga teacher. And so our school, it's accredited with Yoga Alliance, which means that once you get your certificate, you can teach yoga anywhere in the world. And really, during yoga teacher training, you're gonna dive into a lot of different areas. You're gonna dive into the philosophy of yoga, anatomy, hands-on assisting, poses, like alignment, all of these different areas. And so that's going to really give you a strong foundation. And it's so much more than that. It's about finding your voice. I mean, when I went to yoga teacher training, I was actually the shy kid. I was like the hider, and I got like pushed in, gently nudged in from my peers to like step up and really use my voice. Yoga teacher training is about finding your voice. It's about developing your confidence, and really, getting clarity on your vision. Yeah, it could be your vision as a yoga teacher, your vision as a yogi, your vision just in life. And so really, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. I know it's a bold claim, but Sarah, you've experienced it. We've experienced it. We get to see it every single day. Yoga teacher training is a life-changing experience.
Absolutely. I always tell people, and it was told to me the first time I asked about it, yoga teacher training is transformative. It will transform you into the best version of yourself. Like you said, you find your voice. And I remember that. I remember even learning how to teach and practice teaching and learning how to find my voice throughout all of that. And through that, I found confidence. I found my style, and I'm able to share that now with the world. And if I didn't take that leap when I first learned it's transformative, if that scared me or pushed me away, I don't know where I would be today. I
Yeah.
think some people might ask the question of why do yoga teacher training online versus in person?
hmm Yeah. So if you asked me that before the pandemic, I would have said, you can't do yoga teacher training online. How is that possible? I mean, in fact, just 2 years ago, right, Sarah, we were together in India, living in an ashram, doing yoga teacher training. And of course, it's so beautiful to be together and in person. However, now because of the pandemic, for the past 2 years, we've taken all of our certifications online. And now that things are lifting, we're not going back to the in-person because the online teacher training, it's so effective. I mean, first of all, it's super convenient for the students. So no longer do you have to, fly to the other side of the world. You don't have to take time off of work. You don't have to take time to be away from your family. But really, from the comfort of your own home, you can become a certified yoga teacher, and it's more effective, right? If you think about it, if you think back to your yoga teacher training, if you had to use the bathroom and you left the room to go to the bathroom, well, whatever you missed while you were outside of the room, that material was missed. Versus now, you have all of your content right online in your training platform, in bite-sized lectures. So you get to go through it at your own pace when it suits your schedule, and have lifetime access after you graduate. And I would suggest that the international community, right? So if we did our teacher trainings here in Canada, for example, majority of the students were from Canada or the US. If we did our trainings in Finland, the majority of our students were from Europe. Now, I mean, we have students in New Zealand, Australia, Nigeria, all over Europe, all over South America, and people come together and friendships for life. Like I love it. I love seeing in our community forum, people coming together because you join a small team and just seeing the friendships for life and the growth that comes from that. So online is the way to go right now.
Wow, that's amazing to be a part of a global community of yogis. I know when I did my teacher training, I was a part of a community of yogis that were really local, and the reach that you have, and I see it every time I join you guys in your celebration calls at the YTT graduations, 30, 40 people that are from all around the world hugging virtually,
Mhm.
laughing, crying. It's amazing to see that. And so, how are you able to create such an amazing community with an online program?
It's a great question. And if you think about it, Sarah, like when you and I, when we did our trainings, we'd step away from our everyday lives and we'd go to this training and it was fantastic. And then all of a sudden you come back home and you're all by yourself and you got to figure this out. Well, the cool thing with the online training is that you're cultivating that community. You're being supported by a community from day one until certification and beyond. And so really within our training platform, you get to connect with myself, with all of our faculty, with all of our team. We're giving you feedback on your teaching, on your practice. We get to connect on just like this on Zoom to give you support, to teach you, and just from your peers, like in the community forum where you're sharing and you're celebrating one another and really being there for one another. And that's what it's all about. So as contrary to what our instinct might be, the community, as you've experienced, community online is, I would say, next level, even more powerful than just getting together in some paradise location for a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And it feels like family at the end. I mean, these
Mm.
are friends that you get to keep for a lifetime. It's really incredible what you've done, what you've built, and the kind of community that really comes out of these yoga teacher trainings multiple times in a year. And I've seen some of these people stick around because they love that community so much. Now, there's a question that I have had asked a million times, and it's a question that I asked before I started yoga teacher training. And it was about, am I experienced enough to be a yoga teacher? So people will
Mm.
think, I've only been doing yoga for a year, but I love it. I've only been doing yoga for a couple of years and I don't really do it that much, but I think I'd really like to do this. I'm feeling the call. And then they think they need to wait a couple more years. And when I thought that, and I asked that question, I'm not experienced enough to be a yoga teacher, but I'm getting the call. My husband said, you won't know until you try. And I
Yeah.
tried. And it's amazing because if I didn't try, where would I be today? So directly asking that question, how experienced do you need to be to do yoga teacher training?
Mhm. Well, first of all, every single yogi who steps into yoga teacher training is asking that same question, right? Because we have that uncertainty. Am I ready? Am I enough? And the good news is the answer is yes, you are ready. Yes, you are enough. Yes, you will fit in and be welcomed with huge, loving arms. And if you look at the graduates or if you look at the students who have come into our programs, for sure, this is the important thing, is not to compare ourselves to others, because some people come and because they've heard about our training and it's a high level, highly accredited training. So we have students who they've already been teaching yoga. They've already opened yoga studios. So that's like, one end of the spectrum, people with a lot of experience. We also have people walk in with absolutely no experience. Sarah, you'll remember when we were in India a couple of years ago and our friend Brian walked in and he'd only practiced with you on the app. And then all of a sudden he's with us in yoga teacher training. And so, there's people who are brand new. There are people who are, a lot of experience, but really the majority are people who are, they've discovered yoga, they love yoga, they feel good when they practice yoga, they want to deepen their practice, they want to really understand the deeper purpose of yoga. And so it's a great opportunity to immerse yourself into a community, into an educational, facility where you can really just deepen your understanding. And yeah, some people become yoga teachers and some people are really there just because they want to take some time for themselves. As much better than I do, right? Raising young children, right? It takes a lot. You give so much to others And so, a lot of our students are mothers, and they're at home, they're balancing work, they're balancing kids, they're balancing all the other responsibilities, and then being able to carve out a little bit of time each day, each week to really connect with people who lift them up and fill them up.
Yeah, I've seen that transformation, not only in Brian, I've seen that journey in so many people going from that place of like, I'm not experienced enough to teach yoga. Then they try the yoga teacher training. And guess what? That's where you learn how to teach yoga. That's where you learn the depth of yoga, the yoga philosophy, and more about the asanas and the sequences. So it's been
Mhm.
amazing to watch people go through that transformation and experiencing it myself. I'm so excited for the people who have that calling. But
Mhm.
I think you touched on something I want to bring up. What if you just want to deepen your practice? What if you really don't have any interest in teaching yoga in a yoga studio, but you're still getting that calling?
Yeah, it's a great question. That's the majority. I mean, when I did my very first yoga teacher training, I had no intention of becoming a yoga teacher. I love this practice. I wanted to deepen my practice. Of course, when I got there, I got into the environment. What happened to me, what does happen to many of our students, is that you get inspired. You really want to step up. You really want to share yourself and share this practice, but there's no pressure, right? So a good number of students, they just come in, for their own personal practice. However, if you want to look at many of the graduates, people get inspired by their life experiences. So we've seen, athletes who then take this yoga teacher training certificate, and they go and work with professional athletes. Other graduates have gone on to open yoga studios. Very often people are inspired by, again, their own personal experience. Someone who just enrolled the other day, her name is Sue. She loves sharing her story with us. She's managing Parkinson's disease. And so, because of her limited mobility, she's now so inspired sharing everything she's learning with people of her generation, people of her age with limited mobility. There will be an inspiration from within of just wanting to share this because it helps you so much, and you want to share that. But that being said, like, there's no expectation to teach yoga or to open a business or anything like that. It really can just be to just connect to the deeper purpose of yoga.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like yoga teacher training is a great way to connect to your deeper purpose within yoga, how yoga can better serve you. I mean, me as a yoga teacher, I can go anywhere in the world and continue my practice without needing somebody else to guide me. I understand all of my own modifications. I understand how yoga fits in my body and where I want to take it in philosophy or spirituality or all the other aspects or limbs of yoga.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very exciting to think about people using yoga to fill their cup and using yoga teacher training as an opportunity to deepen their practice and fill their cup, regardless if they want to teach. So that is all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for joining me, Jack. And to all of you watching this video, thank you so much for watching this video, learning more about yoga teacher training. If you're getting that calling, remember it is transformative.
Mhm.
If you want to learn more about online yoga teacher training and celebrate with me at your graduation, then all you need to do is click the first link in the description of this video, enter your name and email, and get all the details. Thank you so much, Jack, and I'll see you soon.
See
Namaste.
you soon. Thanks, Sarah. Namaste.